Hey there, beautiful soul. Welcome to Cultivate Your Joyful Life, where we believe true fulfillment blooms from within. I'm Emily Liu, your certified life coach, and I'm on a mission to help you create a life you freaking love. In a world where we constantly juggle priorities from career to parenting, relationships to health, it's easy to feel overwhelmed or not enough. But don't worry, in this corner of the universe, I'm here to share practical tips and inspiration to help you access your inner joy right now. So, grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's cultivate your joyful life together. Here we go. Hey, beautiful soul. Welcome back to another episode. I am recording this from my new office, and I have a view now of trees, and it is magnificent. My last view was looking out into the main street, and so it was very brown and black, but now I can see greenery and blue pool, and oh my gosh, it just makes my heart so full of gratitude. And it's pretty amazing that I'm in this space now. Like, we've officially moved in, and during the moving process, I actually came across a list that I had written called My Dream Home. And on that was a list of like 10 criteria. And this home checks all of those boxes and more. And so I don't know, I was just reminded of how important it is to have a goal and a vision of what you want to create in this lifetime. Because I truly think that once we know what we want and why we want it, it will unfold for us. Like, our minds are so powerful that we will, on autopilot, like we don't even have to consciously think about the thing that we're doing all the time. We just start to move into what I like to call inspired action. And this action doesn't have to be 24/7, but because we have a vision of what we want, we start to just move towards that. Whereas I think if we didn't have a goal, we never set a vision, we never have an image of what our dream life or our dream career looks like, then we just kind of remain idle and or stagnant, and or like, even if the thing that came along or the opportunity came along, we wouldn't know to go for it or execute on it or take that next action or step towards it because we don't know where we're going. So yeah, I looked at that 2016 list and was like, oh, like, I haven't been consciously thinking about all of these things. I thought about it once when I sat down, and how cool that something even greater came out. Like, it checks all of these boxes and so much more that I didn't even know I needed. This house, by the way, I think about those Instagram reels where it says things you didn't know you needed. This home, the previous owners were really like tech forward. I don't know. They just have so many gadgets throughout the house that I would have never even thought of or didn't know existed. So, for example, our master closet has a switch. Instead of just turning on the light, there's actually timers. Like, do you want to turn on the light for 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5, 10, 15, 30, or just turn it on and off manually? And it's so cool to like be able to just like hit 5 minutes and then, you know, do what you need to do and then like leave, and it just automatically shuts off. I don't know, that might be very basic, but we just never had that before. Another thing I didn't realize was so important to have is a silent garage and a silent dishwasher. Both of ours at our last house were so noisy, and I didn't know anything different at the time. But this one, I'm like, oh my God, did it close the garage? Oh my God, did I turn on the dishwasher? Because it's just so silent, which is really nice now that I've experienced it. Another feature that I really like in this house is soft close, slow close doors in the mudroom. Like, my last home, every time we opened the door, it would like slam shut. So if we were bringing in groceries, we'd have to like constantly open the door. Again, something that we never really think about, but this one, when we open the door from the garage, it just stays open. So you can make like several trips in and out and not have to like open the door, especially if you're carrying things. So anyways, just lots of little thoughtful things. And my favorite feature is probably blackout curtains. I've had such good sleep over these past few days, and I don't know why I never thought about it before. Like, clearly, when you go to hotels, they have blackout curtains. And for some reason, I just thought those were things that only hotels could install, like big high rises. But no, you can install blackout curtains for your bedroom, like at a residential home. So that was really cool. Anyway, all to say is there's way more that I have on this list now that I'm aware that these features exist. And going forth, I always think about how we're always evolving in life. And hopefully when it comes to upgrading our life and our career, it doesn't always have to go upwards, but once you have like an idea or awareness, like you don't know what you don't know, right? But now that I have awareness that these conveniences exist, I'm like, oh, like I can imagine that each home that we move into after is just going to get better and better and better. So yeah, that's my little update on my home situation. But what I wanted to come here to talk to you really about is angel numbers and what those are. If you're new to the concept, this is going to be a great crash course on angel numbers. And if you're already familiar with angel numbers, hopefully this will serve as a good refresher. But I'm also excited to share like how I utilize angel numbers and what I utilize them for, especially when life gets challenging or we are starting to lose the faith. We'll get into all of that, but I also want to share a quick community update for you. So in the show notes, I linked our free Slack channel called Cultivate Your Joyful Life. Definitely join it. And you'll notice that one of the links is an application to receive free coaching from me. I am wanting to book a bunch of one-on-one coaching sessions to be aired here on this podcast because I like to say what is personal is universal. So through this 30-minute free coaching session with me, we just ask that you bring up whatever is pressing and alive for you. It doesn't have to be career related. It could be on any topic, whether it's burnout, personal finance, like how to navigate a certain situation or relationship, personal health, personal finance, whatever it is that you just know you want some support around. I just ask that you bring that to our free one-on-one coaching call and just be open and receptive to sharing vulnerably and also receiving coaching. I think it's really powerful to hear other people being coached because what they're encountering, while you might have a different cast of characters or a different situation or circumstance, there's so much common themes and threads and aspects that can be applied into your own life. And of course, if you're a brave volunteer to be coached, you'll receive some ahas and breakthroughs and insights and just really experience coaching, which is something that's really hard to describe to people. It's definitely something that you just need to feel and go through in the process. So yeah, that link will be in the show notes as well. And I encourage you to apply. I am going to try booking out calls through August and September, and hopefully you'll be aired and people can really just benefit and learn from real stories, real vulnerable stories and challenges, because I promise whatever you're going through, somebody else is going to go through as well. All right, let's dig into today's episode about angel numbers. The reason why I want to share this now is because I have a lot of clients that I work with who say something along the lines of, my patience is wearing thin. How do I keep the trust or the faith that something is going to pan out? I want to remain hopeful, but I'm really losing my faith and trust that something better, something out there is going to pan out for me. And this situation often has been around job searching. When you're on your 12th month of job searching, it can almost feel really defeating and hopeless and frustrating and just filled with despair. Like, when is this ever going to happen? I've also seen it with my clients around relationships. I've been trying to call in a life partner for many, many, many years, and I'm still single. And how am I ever going to find that partner? Am I going to be single for the rest of my life? I have had this with a recent client who has been trying to conceive for some time. It's been 3 years. They've started their IVF journey, and it's just been really challenging to what they call receive a miracle of being able to conceive. So it could be really with anything, any journey that you're on that is taking longer than expected, where you start to question the faith. You start to question, is this really going to show up in my life? And I think it's really interesting because faith is believing in something that you cannot see, right? So whether it is a religion, whether it is, God, Buddha, Allah, whatever God you believe in, or in the spiritual world, something of just a higher power. It could be source. It could be the universe. Just knowing that there's something bigger out there at play that we can't control, we can't explain, we can't even feel tangibly, but we know that it exists despite not being able to see it. So that's faith, right? Believing in something when you cannot see it. Over the years, I've definitely seen people who are very spiritual in like the woo-woo sense, and I low-key would judge them like, oh, this person must be on psychedelics, or like this person is like so into crystals and like they're so strange, like that they believe in these practices and stuff like that. And I don't know, there's something that changed or shifted about 2 years ago, because I used to be a very like logical, pragmatic, practical, like, no, tell me like the proof of this and show me the evidence of this. And I just wanted to crack open to believing, well, what if there's something even greater that you just can't explain? Like science can't explain it, that there's something just bigger, and you can just trust and have faith that something is out there protecting you and taking care of you. And I don't know, as I opened myself up to that, I just naturally started to be more receptive to allowing myself to feel those things. And then I had a lot of like indescribable things happen where you could call them like synchronicities, you can call them coincidences, but I started to really just build like this deeper knowledge and trust and inner knowing that when I want something, it's going to show up. I started believing in divine timing, like no matter what, I'm always taken care of. And it was just like this deeper feeling that I've been able to like cultivate. And through this journey, I'm now just so open to infinite possibilities, and I see the world so abundantly, and I truly have the framework that we're all here to thrive and not just merely survive, and that there is a higher power, a universe, a God, if you will, who is here to protect us and to make sure that we are always taken care of. We are always resourced. We are always going to be okay. And it's just like a deep faith and inner knowing that, again, I can't prove that to you. I can't give you like evidence of that. It just is like a belief and a feeling that I've been able to cultivate, and I just believe and feel so strongly. And so that really became my spiritual journey. And for the past 2 years, I've really been cultivating it. I've been really open-minded about, well, what if angel numbers are here to send us a message from the universe or from God? And I started to kind of observe and test this out. So I would say, I'm really feeling challenged by this. And I just, instead of like before, I used to never look out for numbers, but like as I would drive, I'd be open to like looking at billboards, and I'd be more mindful of the license plates in front of me. And sometimes I would see that number, or like the moment I looked at the clock, like the number would pop up, and I would just feel this like reassurance. And it was so helpful in my journey. Like anytime I saw those numbers, I was like, oh, I could relax. Like I'm taking this as a sign. I'm taking this as a message. So what are angel numbers? Let me start with that. Basically, angel numbers are sequences of numbers that carry spiritual significance and are believed to be messages from our guardian angels or the divine. So essentially, the thought is each number carries different vibrational energies and messages. They are often related to guidance and encouragement or reassurance. So again, if you are wanting to believe in, like, let's say you're having trouble believing or having faith that you're going to be okay, and you're really wanting that reassurance, this is a perfect time to start noticing these numbers and when they show up to send you a message. So these angel numbers can kind of represent these messages that other people would otherwise hear. You know, we hear about like the psychics and the channelers and the mediums, you know, they're very like connected to these voices. But I think for most people, we don't have those powers and those gifts. So these angel numbers can be really helpful. I'm going to go through the angel numbers in a moment, but first I want to just share like how to recognize angel numbers. So typically there are repeated patterns or frequencies. So typically 3 digits or more. So if you see like a 111, a 222, a 333, and so on, there's a special message or a special meaning behind them. And where you wouldn't typically find these is a lot of common places, whether you're looking at your phone all of a sudden and you see the time on the clock, you see again the license plates, or you get a receipt and your order number is like 333, or you see a phone number that's like 444. Billboards, like I said, on my router, I was actually hooking it up the other day and I saw the number 222 as the model serial number. One thing that I have loved doing is typing my passwords with angel numbers. So I'm making this up, but for instance, if my Netflix password needed to be reset, I would maybe, instead of just putting a standard password that I would typically pick, maybe I put relaxation 888, you know, so whatever you want to create more of in your life, and I'll go through the meanings of each number, just by typing out that number and like saying it in your head or verbally out loud could be a good reminder, like, oh, okay, like now that I know what this message or this number represents or signifies, I'm allowing myself to just repeat it and have it show up on purpose because I'm changing all my passwords to this. So we'll go through what to do when you see the numbers, but I want to just explain what the most common numbers are. And there's like, I think, a lot of different numbers. And if you're ever interested in just when you come across a number, what it means, you could always just type in angel number and then whatever number into Google. And there's lots of different resources and results that are going to show up. But the most common angel numbers, again, are sequences or patterns of the same number. So 3 or more. We'll start with 111. Anytime I see 111, like it's 111 on the clock, that means it represents new beginnings, manifestation, alignment. It signifies new beginnings and opportunities. So when I see 111, it reminds me of like, oh, what intention I'm setting, like whatever I'm about to embark on, like this is a reminder that I'm on the right path, that this is the aligned path that is meant for me because I'm creating clear intentions in my life. And this is just that nudge to be like, yes, keep going. That's what it's here for. And so it's really here to help you focus on what you truly desire. And whenever you're losing faith in that or you're questioning that, just sometimes seeing that 111 is a beautiful reminder of like, okay, I'm in alignment. That's a sign that I am going forth in the right direction. Angel number 222 is a powerful sign of balance, harmony, and cooperation. It suggests that you're on the right path and everything is unfolding as it should, even if you can't yet understand or see the full picture. So the message here is really to trust in the process and have faith that the challenges you're facing will lead to positive outcomes. It's a reminder to stay patient, keep the faith, and continue working towards your goals with optimism, and truly just trusting in the divine timing of everything to happen. 333 represents spiritual growth and protection. So This is often letting you know that you have support and encouragement, that there's spiritual growth, creativity, and communication all around you. So this message is the universe reminding you that you're not alone on your spiritual journey. And it's a nudge to continue practicing your spiritual practices, whether it's meditation, prayer, creative expression, and to not be afraid to ask for help when you need it. 444 is all about stability and reassurance. So the appearance of 444 is a strong sign that you're being supported and protected by the universe. Its symbolism is around stability, grounding, and reassurance that you're on the right track. So the message here is your angels are telling you that they're here with you, guiding and protecting you. This is a time to trust in the foundations you've built and to feel confident in your decisions. It's also a reminder to keep your thoughts positive and your energy grounded. 555, this is my favorite number, or one of them. Anytime I am going through a big change and transformation, I see 555 everywhere. And this is like any type of significant shift in your life, whether it's your career, your business, relationships, your personal growth. It's just here to remind you to embrace the change and be open to the new opportunities that are coming your way. So it's a reminder that change is a natural part of life and often will lead to greater growth and fulfillment. 666, I know a lot of people see this as like the demon number, or this is really bad, but I like in the angel numbers that there's no ominous meanings or negative meanings that you can encounter. So 666 actually stands for inner spiritual balance. And this is to align your thoughts and actions with the highest good. So the universe is basically asking you to pay attention to any areas of your life where you might be out of balance, particularly in terms of material concerns versus your spiritual well-being. So it's a call to refocus you on your spiritual path and to trust that your needs will be met. So I love that interpretation because instead of like something bad is going to happen, it's just more of a checks and balances. Okay, and when I see a 666, maybe that's a time for me to just take a moment to reflect and see, am I still in alignment? Is there anything that I'm doing that is misaligned? Is there something that I'm doing that is coming from more of a should rather than a want or desire? Am I letting fear in the driver's seat? Okay, this is the time for me to recalibrate. 777 stands for divine wisdom and enlightenment. So this is associated with just that divine wisdom and intuition that you're on the right path and you're receiving guidance. So the message here is the universe is telling you that you're in alignment with your spiritual purpose and that you're supported in your quest for knowledge and truth. It's a sign to continue trusting your intuition and to keep seeking spiritual growth. 888, I'm Chinese, and this is like the most superstitious thing ever. 888 is like the luckiest number that you can see, and it really stands for abundance and success. So especially if you go to the casinos, you will have no problem finding a slot machine that says 888 all over it. But the meaning of this is abundance, success, and financial prosperity. So if you see this sign, it often means you're on the brink of a major achievement or that a phase of abundance is beginning in your life. And so this message is affirming that your hard work and dedication are about to pay off. It's a reminder to keep your mindset positive and to remain open to receiving the abundance that is coming your way. It also encourages you to share your success with others. And 999, this is also a really lucky number in Chinese because 9 is pronounced jiu and jiu is long. So when people see like 999, it often means long life to them. But in angel numbers, completion and new beginnings is signified. So it signifies the completion of a cycle and the beginning of a new chapter in your life. It's the call to let go of what no longer serves you and to prepare for new opportunities and experiences. So this is really a reassurance or reminder to release the past and to embrace the new, to be open to closing a door, to allow a new door to open. And anytime you're going through any type of reflection, closure, transformation, you'll see this number appear so that you can continue on with the wisdom and grace towards your next chapter of your life. And then one of my favorite numbers. I see this a lot. Like, it is so bizarre how often I look at my phone and I look at it at exactly 11:11. So 4 ones in a row, 1111, is one of the most powerful and well-known angel numbers. It represents spiritual awakening, enlightenment, alignment of your inner self with the universe. And it really signifies that you are on the right path and that your thoughts and intentions are manifesting rapidly. So when I first started delving into angel numbers, like I never noticed 1111 before. I never noticed it like in front of me on license plates. But all of a sudden I started to see 1111 everywhere. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. And the message here is truly that the universe is opening up a gateway of manifestation for you. So your thoughts, beliefs, and intentions are being magnified. And it's important to stay positive and focus on what you really want. It's also seen as a wake-up call to pay attention to your spiritual path and be more aware of the synchronicities happening around you. It's also a reminder that you're in alignment with your higher self, that the universe is supporting your journey. And anytime you see 1111, you can take it as a moment to pause, reflect, and consciously direct your thoughts toward what you want to create in your life. You might want to make a wish, set an intention, or simply acknowledge the presence of your spiritual guides. What I really love about angel numbers is that there are no negative interpretations or meanings. And I think that's really powerful and helpful because, again, when you are looking for faith, when you are losing trust, when you are losing patience, typically that means you're starting to move into scarcity and fear and you're letting anxious thoughts overtake you. And so seeing these numbers and really knowing their meaning can really allow you to just pause and reflect. And whenever I see them personally, and I'm going through something really heavy, or there's a lot of doubt, there's a lot of fear in the driver's seat, and I see a number appear, I actually smile with gratitude. And I'm just like, oh yeah. Either I pause and reflect on like what that number means. Sometimes I have to Google it because I don't have them memorized. Each number is truly carrying a positive message and intention, truly the message of 222, like knowing that things are unfolding for you and they're on their way to you and that everything is in balance and harmony and everything is just working out. Like the universe has your back. And I don't know. I just really, really love this reminder, especially when we don't have an outlet to hear that from anyone else. You know, sometimes these numbers come in the most divine timing. Like, again, you're just looking at your phone and you're like, oh, wow, it's 5:55. What does 555 mean again? Oh, it's about changes and transformation. And there's going to be a really positive opportunity with this shift in this transitional phase that I'm in, and everything's going to work out. I love this as a tool to just help connect with myself on a more spiritual level and really trusting in that bigger power, that bigger faith that I can't see it, but I know it's out there. I know it exists. And oftentimes just knowing this and expressing gratitude for it brings me so much peace in the present moment. And even if things are still unfolding or still not yet arrived, I almost imagine it like an Amazon Prime shipment. We're so used to instant gratification, but there's often times where we place an order online and we just forget about it. We place the order, we said, this is what I want, and we pay for it. We did the work and we forget about it. And then what happens, usually 2 days later, something arrives at the front door and it's a package that sometimes you forget what you ordered, or you're like, oh, thank you, it showed up. And what's beautiful is when you place the order, you don't call the customer support right after and be like, are you sure you got my order? Are you sure it's coming? Are you sure it's going to arrive on time? Like, you just set the order and you trust. And like all the logistical things that have to happen, from one warehouse distribution to getting onto a truck to the postman, like delivering it to the right house, the right address. Like, there's so many things that could logistically go wrong, but we're so accustomed to just placing an order and receiving what we want. And so oftentimes I think about life in the same way. When we have that goal, that vision, that intention, maybe we don't have full control of the when, the where, the how, but if we know what we want and why we want it, and we have placed the order and we are allowing ourselves to just be reassured and trust that this is going to happen, this is going to come out for us, it's just a beautiful way to live. And truly, when I think about being happier and more joyful, I ask my podcast guests this all the time. How do you cultivate more joy? But for me, I think a lot of it stems to letting go of control. Stop being a control freak. Stop having to put so much control and pressure on like this one thing having to happen right now, this way. And sometimes like loosening the grip and just being like, okay, I'm actually letting go of the steering wheel altogether completely and trusting that this autopilot is taking me to my destination. It could be a really scary thing to do. It could be a very uncomfortable thing to do. And yet there's so many ways. Like, I want you to reflect on your own life and just see, where have you like let go of control or not control the situation and the best thing happened? I'm sure you have a lot of examples of that happening in your life, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a friendship, whether it's something that you've created. My sense is some of the best things have just come out organically and unfolded for you in that moment. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know in the community, by the way, under podcast episodes, what your favorite angel number is. And I can't wait to hear how you start to see angel numbers all around you now that you've become aware of them. All right, until next time, take care. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. If you enjoyed it and you're not following me on social media already, come follow me and join the conversation on our latest post. I'm over at Cultivate, or you can visit our website, cultivate.com, and learn more. And don't forget to hit subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss another episode. I can't wait to connect with you again soon. Have a joyful day.